Our top story. The US Vice President J.D. Vance is in Geneva this Sunday for talks with Iranian negotiators aimed at fleshing out the fragile ceasefire agreement between the two countries. The two sides have a number of thorny issues to work through, including Iran's decision to keep the Strait of Hormuz largely shut in protest at Israel's ongoing attacks on Lebanon. Well, a short while ago, J.D. Vance has spoken to journalists. You can see him there alongside the mediators from Pakistan and from Qatar. Let's take a listen then to a little of what Vance had to say.
First of all, I want to thank the President of the United States, who sends his best to all the great leaders assembled here, because he's empowered us to find a diplomatic resolution to a host of issues that matter to the American people, but I think the world. The opening of the Strait of Hormuz, the ending of the Iranian nuclear program, all of these things have already been accomplished. The question before us now is how much more can we accomplish together? Can we turn over a new leaf? Can we change relations in the Middle East permanently? Or do we go back to doing things the old way, which is not our preference, but is certainly very much something that can't happen.
Well, despite the confidence there from J.D. Vance, there are significant challenges ahead for the negotiators. As Eliza Herbert now reports, her report produced then before Vance spoke this afternoon.
Security was tight at the Palace Hotel as J.D. Vance's motorcade arrived for negotiations. The Swiss mountain resort is hosting the Lake Lucerne Summit, bringing together the US Vice President, envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, and senior Iranian officials for high-level talks. Before he set off, Vance was optimistic.
I can only be there for a day or two. I think we're hopefully making progress on the nuclear issue, make progress on the Lebanon ceasefire issue.
Leading the Iranian negotiations, General Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Their arrival in Switzerland on Saturday night, however, was overshadowed by Tehran's announcement that it was once again closing the Strait of Hormuz, citing Israel's continuing strikes in Lebanon as a ceasefire violation.
We have adhered to our commitments. The other side was obliged to compel those under its influence, specifically the Zionist regime, to cease fire in Lebanon. They have failed to fulfill their obligations, and this constitutes a clear violation of the ceasefire understanding.
Under the memorandum signed last week, the parties have 60 days to reach a final agreement. But clashes between Israel and Hezbollah continue to threaten the truce, and the technical issues over how to curb Iran's nuclear program are still to be ironed out. Mediators, including Pakistan and Qatar, are also involved in the process. The stakes are high. The outcome could affect not only Iran's nuclear program, but global trade, energy markets, and the fragile search for peace in the Middle East.
Well, as we heard in the report, Lebanon then key to this ceasefire agreement. And let's go to Beirut to get the latest from our correspondent there, Renée Davis. Renée, we'll talk about the negotiations in a moment, but just tell us first of all the latest, what is happening on the ground in Lebanon.
Well, just till about a few moments ago, southern Lebanon was experiencing its biggest lull in Israeli strikes for weeks since March 2nd on the full-out war. We had almost 24 hours without any Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon. Now, that, of course, isn't the case anymore. Just in the past hour, there was a bomb dropped on Nabatia El Fawqa and another one on a roundabout in Kufar Tibnit, which is in the Sur district of southern Lebanon. This happened whilst the Lebanese army commander, Rajab Haikal, was conducting a tour in Nabatia. And it also happened while civil defense, the government-funded search and rescue teams, were conducting operations to retrieve bodies under the rubble that they weren't able to retrieve until present because of the continuous strikes from Israel. So all of that has once again been put on halt whilst these negotiations begin as we speak now. J.D. Vance just said that these were historical talks and will really bring a change to the Middle East. Whether that's including Lebanon, we have yet to find out.
Of course, that is the key question then for people where you are in Beirut, Renée. Do you think that there is a risk that these Israeli attacks on Lebanon, as you say, that have begun again within the last half an hour or so, could undermine efforts to secure a deal that we're talking about in Geneva?
Well, absolutely. I think Israel has been continuously undermining US diplomacy, especially now when the US insists, has questioned multiple times why Israel has to go so hard on Lebanon. We've heard it from comments that Trump has made in recent days. And then you also have Iran, who just today the Iranians said that Lebanon is at the center of these discussions and there will be no peace talks without Lebanon included. Having said that, the Israelis have said that they intend to keep all of their positions in southern Lebanon. We've even had reports of them moving towards Ali Tahrir Hills again, which in recent days has been the site of lots of clashes between Hezbollah. And of course, I think all Lebanese people here know that once Israeli strikes, Hezbollah will respond and it will all, start again. So once again, it's Groundhog Day in Lebanon, and we'll have to see what the outcomes of these negotiations actually are and whether Israel does back off Lebanese soil.
All right, Renée Davis in Beirut, thank you for your reporting.